Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the curveballs life throws at you, only to realize that it's your perception of the situation that's causing your stress? Let's delve into a personal experience that shines a light on the power of cognitive restructuring. Imagine this. It's a regular morning and you're going through your emails when you find that several significant tasks, initially planned to be spread over 6 months, need resolution within the next month. Just as you're wrapping your head around this, a friend calls with an additional issue that requires your attention. At this moment, a familiar negative thought begins to sneak in. Everything is piling up all at once. This thought carries with it a sense of overload, the feeling of life being unjust, and doubts about your capabilities. You can almost physically feel this thought worming its way into your consciousness. But this time, something changes. Instead of letting this thought take hold and send you spiraling into despair, you decide to halt it in its tracks. You make a conscious choice to view the situation differently. The universe is looking out for me, you think. It wants me to sort out all these issues at once. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God, for believing in me. The effect of this new thought is astonishing. Instead of anxiety and depression, you suddenly feel a surge of energy and confidence. You're filled with a sense of deep joy and even happiness. You can physically feel the difference in energy between the first negative thought and the second positive one. This experience once again demonstrates how closely our minds and bodies are connected and how strongly our interpretations of events influence our emotional state. A simple change in perspective completely transformed the perception of the situation, from an insurmountable problem to the universe looking out for you, from a threat to an opportunity for growth. The shift from a negative thought to a positive one was not only mentally transformative, but also physically invigorating. So, how did this simple switch in thought process affect my emotional state? Well, let's delve into that. Picture this: a heavy, oppressive cloud of anxiety, a feeling that might be all too familiar. It's like a weight on your shoulders, a gnawing discomfort in your stomach, and a whirlwind of negative thoughts in your mind. This was my initial reaction to the sudden surge of responsibilities. But then, something shifted. As I consciously chose to view the situation differently, it was as though a switch had been flipped. The weight on my shoulders lifted, replaced by a buoyant feeling of confidence. The discomfort in my stomach dissipated, giving way to a warm, invigorating surge of energy. And the whirlwind of negative thoughts? They transformed into a clear, calm sky of positive affirmations. This wasn't just an emotional shift, it was physical. It was a tangible sense of energy coursing through me, a noticeable lightness in my step, an undeniable spark in my eyes. The joy and happiness that filled me was not just a fleeting feeling. It was profound, it was deep, it was real. But this wasn't just about feeling good, it was about empowerment. It was about realizing that I had the power to shape my reality through my thoughts and beliefs. It was about understanding that the universe wasn't working against me, but for me. This simple change in perspective was akin to seeing the world in a new light. It wasn't a denial of the challenges at hand, but a reframing of them. What once seemed like a mountain of tasks became a pathway to growth, an opportunity to prove to myself and to the universe that I was capable of more than I had previously thought. The transformation was remarkable, turning a daunting task into an opportunity for growth. And the most beautiful part? All it took was a shift in thought, a conscious choice to view my situation differently. And just like that, the world looked a whole lot brighter. But how easy is it to catch this negative thought and consciously replace it with a more constructive one? The answer I found is that it's not always simple. Mindfulness and self-observation, like any other skills, require practice. It's about being present in the moment, paying attention to your thoughts, and questioning the validity of those that bring you down. In my experience, the first step is the hardest. It's about breaking free from the autopilot mode that we so often find ourselves in and starting to question our thought patterns. The initial phase may feel like an uphill battle, but I promise you, it gets easier with time. As I began to practice cognitive restructuring, I found myself becoming more aware of my thoughts. I started to notice the negative self-talk that I had been allowing to rule my mind. And once I became aware of it, I was able to challenge it. The beautiful thing about our minds is their ability to learn and adapt. As I continued to practice cognitive restructuring, I found that it became easier. the negative thoughts that once felt so powerful began to lose their hold over me. I was learning to catch them before they could take root and replace them with more constructive thoughts. The journey of cognitive restructuring isn't a quick fix. It's a continuous process of growth and learning. It's about developing a habit of mindfulness, of being present in the moment, and of observing and challenging your thoughts. It's about recognizing when your mind is trying to pull you into negativity and choosing instead to steer it towards positivity. It's about learning to see challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and learning. And the more I practiced, the more I realized the power that lay within me, the power to shape my thoughts, my emotions, and ultimately my reality. With each successful cognitive restructuring, I felt my inner strength and emotional resilience grow. This practice may not be easy, but it's worth every effort, because the reward is a more positive mindset, a stronger sense of self, and a life filled with more joy, peace, and fulfillment. Now, whenever life presents me with a challenge, how do I perceive it, you might ask? Well, cognitive restructuring has given me a new lens to view these situations. Instead of seeing life's challenges as insurmountable obstacles, I now regard them as care from the universe. Each hurdle is a sign that I have the strength to overcome it, and every hardship, an opportunity for growth. This shift in perspective is not just a mental gymnastic, it's a profound transformation that brings about a deep-seated change in how we interact with the world around us. When we choose to view our problems as opportunities, we take the reins of our life back into our hands. We transition from being passive recipients of life's blows to active participants in our own journey. In this journey, the power of belief in oneself cannot be overstated. When we trust in our ability to overcome challenges, we unlock a reservoir of inner strength. We start to see that we have the resources within us to face whatever life throws our way. Our self-belief becomes a beacon, guiding us through the rough seas of life's challenges towards the shore of success. But self-belief is not just about trusting in our individual abilities. It's also about believing in the higher purpose of life's events. When we view our trials as part of a grander scheme, we find meaning in our struggles. We see that every challenge is a stepping stone, leading us towards our ultimate purpose. This belief in a higher purpose transforms our attitude towards life's challenges. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by our problems, we start to see them as puzzles to be solved, lessons to be learned. We become resilient, buoyed by the conviction that each hurdle we face is an opportunity for growth. And here's the most beautiful part. Regardless of external circumstances, this belief fills me with energy and joy. Every challenge becomes a chance to learn, grow, and evolve. Every setback, a springboard for greater success. And every hardship, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. So how does cognitive restructuring relate to our physical bodies? Well, let's delve into this fascinating connection further. Just as our thoughts and beliefs can be restructured, so too can our physical reactions to certain situations. This is because our habitual behaviors and reactions are not just stored in our minds, but also in our bodies at the level of neuronal connections in the brain and muscle memory. Yes, you heard it right. Our bodies remember these habitual reactions and automatically reproduce them in response to relevant situations. Think of it like this. When you learn to ride a bike, at first, it requires intense concentration to balance, pedal, and steer all at the same time. But with practice, these actions become automatic. Your body remembers what to do, freeing up your mind to enjoy the ride or think about other things. This is your muscle memory at work. Similarly, when we repeatedly react to certain situations in a specific way, our bodies start to remember these reactions and can automatically reproduce them, even before our conscious minds have a chance to catch up. This is why, sometimes, you might find yourself reacting in a way that you didn't consciously choose. Your body is simply following its own memory of how to react. But here's the exciting part. Just as we can use cognitive restructuring to change our thought patterns, we can also involve our physical bodies in this transformation process. By consciously choosing different physical reactions, we can begin to reprogram our body's responses, leading to deeper and more lasting change. So for example, if you notice that you clench your fists when you're angry, you can consciously choose to relax your hands instead. Over time, this new response can become your body's new default, helping to reduce your overall feelings of anger. For a comprehensive transformation, a holistic approach that considers all aspects of our multidimensional being, including the physical body, is vital. So remember, cognitive restructuring is not just about changing your thoughts, but also about changing your physical reactions. It's all connected, and it's all part of the journey towards a happier, healthier you.